Let's do it better than that. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dave Marcheski, and I have the distinct honor of serving as the Community Relations Manager here for the Crane Clean Energy Center. And today, your MC. Are my former Unit 1 employees in the house, though? Let me hear you. Former Unit 1 employees, let me hear you. On behalf of those folks, as a former Unit 1 employee myself, let me just say, it feels so good to be back! Crane Unit 1 here is poised to deliver 835 megawatts of zero-carbon electricity, creating the opportunity and optimism in our community and across the Commonwealth. We're bringing back the jobs, we're bringing back the pride, and we're bringing back billions of dollars of investment right here in central Pennsylvania. This moment here today, though, would not be possible without the vision, the partnership, the persistence, and we're joined today by several individuals on stage to help make this milestone a reality. First, please welcome a leader who has been a tireless advocate for a clean, reliable energy future, not just in words, but through bold action. Under his leadership, Constellation has grown immensely and remains steadfast as our nation's producer, our largest producer of carbon-free energy. Please welcome Constellation President and CEO, Joe Dominguez!
Boy, what an incredible, incredible moment. I can't believe it. Just to bring this plant back, the comeback of this plant, the comeback of the industry. It's just kind of amazing. I look at all the cameras in the back, and everybody's here to see this moment that has galvanized people across the country. Environmental groups that at one time opposed nuclear, supporting it. Labor, bipartisan politicians. Where do you see agreement across the board? You see agreement across the board on nuclear. Labor, just amazing. The largest company in the world coming here and wanting to make such a huge investment in our community to power not only this great technology, but the technologies of the future. And 2 years from now, if Manu, and we're going to start putting pressure on PJM, okay? But when PJM gets this thing interconnected, we're going to be ready. And it's going to be ready for days like today. Days that'll approach 100 degrees out there. And we know it'll be ready for days that approach negative 50 degrees out there. 365 days a year for millions of families. And we know you just have to watch the grid for the last couple of days to know it couldn't come at a better moment. We made a mistake in shutting down this plant, but we're not here to dwell on that mistake. We're here to look to the future. And I looked at that video. And Casey, where are you? I looked at you and I saw your eyes well up with tears when you saw your dad. Mine did too. And my heart was filled with joy that we're able to bring this plant back and name it in honor of our hero, Chris Crane. You know, a couple weeks ago, I was with leaders in the company, young leaders who were doing a project to try to understand what leadership looked like. And they had one fundamental question they asked me at the outset. They said, look, are leaders born or are they made? And I said that it's both, right? But anybody can make themselves into a good leader just as they can make themselves into a good teammate. And we see examples of that all the time. But once in a while, I had to acknowledge that once in a while you see a person who just seems to be born for a moment and a task in life. And if you have that privilege, that rare, rare privilege to work with that person in that moment in time, you never forget it. It leaves an indelible mark on you for the rest of your life. It changes the very way in which you lead and the honor of leadership. Chris Crane was one of those people. I look at the audience and I could see dozens, 100 people who were personally touched by Chris Crane every leader in our organization. And if we were to look out at the nuclear and energy industry as a whole, we would see thousands more that were touched by his leadership. And I mean touched, I mean mentored, I mean loved, and I also mean getting your butt kicked every now and again, because we all know that Chris didn't lead in halves. He went after it. And so we wanted to honor him, but it wasn't an easy thing, because if you knew one thing about Chris, and I was talking to Jillian and Casey about this today, he hated to receive any kind of award or recognition. Absolutely despised it. Don't approach him with it. You get thrown out of his office. And in the last 5 years of his career, as you could well imagine, given the mark that he had on the industry, people had come to him to give him all sorts of awards because of his position and because of his contribution. And they were all met with a resounding no. So when Bob Wallace and I first started talking about naming the plant after Chris, you could imagine it was a delicate conversation that we expected to have with Jillian and Casey to seek their permission for us to be allowed to do this. But, you know, the more we thought about it, we thought this wasn't an award. It wasn't an honorarium. It was a tribute. And the Latin word for or tribute has origins in Latin, and it derives from a payment or a repayment to a prominent person, a person of honor, for something that was given that was spectacular. And Chris, as you look down on us today and you observe what we're doing, I know you're grumbling a bit, but know that this is a repayment with our love for everything that you gave to us. And a statement that you never will be forgotten. God bless you, Chris. Jillian, Casey, thank you for helping us to make this happen. Let me close this part of the presentation with kind of a long list of thanks for a lot of other people who were involved. I want to thank Dan Eggers and Brian Hansen for leading this initiative from an executive standpoint. I want to especially thank the 200 folks who are with us today and are rebuilding this plant even as we speak. Brian told me our hires, our permanent hires, are already over 400 people, and we're still a couple years away, so awesome. I know many of you left and wanted so desperately to come home to Pennsylvania, and this is great. You come back to a place you loved and where you made such a profound contribution. That is incredible. A special thanks to Clint Six and Trevor Orth for leading this in your own way with your grit. Our board members, Bob Wallace, Eileen Patterson, Eve DeBauman, representatives here of the board, thank you for your confidence in me and our management team to give us the $1.6 billion and to only ask, are we doing the right thing for America? Thank you to you guys. Before anybody knew anything about this effort, I had to have one meeting, and it was a critical meeting, and I didn't know how it would go. I had an opportunity to sit down with Governor Shapiro in a secret office in a law firm in Philadelphia to share with him our ambition to restart the plant. And as you can imagine, it had a lot of tentacles to it that we didn't fully understand. And I expected to leave the meeting without an answer, with hey, I'll get back to you at some point in time in the future, and goodness knows when that would happen. But if you know anything about Governor Shapiro, he doesn't delay till tomorrow what could be done today. And I didn't leave the meeting with ambiguity. I left the meeting with incredible support, and that continues to this day. Governor, thank you so much. You are an amazing leader. I want to thank Representative Tom Mahaffey and Senator Patty Kim for your incredible support in Harrisburg. This has gone on for years. And of course, I've mentioned Microsoft before. Bobby Hollis will come up here. Bobby and his team at Microsoft were incredibly enthusiastic about this project from the second they heard about it. And it's not only that they are taking energy from the plant, they're contributing to the plant. You know, when we restart this plant, we're going to have some of the cutting-edge AI technologies embedded in the plant so that we could take nuclear operations to a place never before seen. We are going to restart the most advanced nuclear plant in America when this gets started. Whereas Bob Blair and all the tradespeople are making this happen at a busy time for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the work you're doing and will continue to do. Maria and this great team at Jeff Places here from IMPO, Maria from NEI. Without your Washington support, it couldn't happen. And I know I put the onus on Manu at PJM to get this thing interconnected, and I hate to start with a challenge, but I should start here. They were incredible partners from the beginning, explaining how this could happen. And on days like today, 2 years from now, we'll have this plan to cover the needs of millions of American families at a time we need it. And believe me, it couldn't come at a better time. And finally, thank you to all of the community members from the broader community here at Crane. Thank you for your confidence. We're going to repay that confidence with dedication, with hard work, with ingenuity, with jobs, with taxes, and ultimately with great clean energy that you could count on 365 days a year. Thank you to everybody for coming. Let's go.
Now, it is my privilege to introduce someone whose leadership has placed Pennsylvania at the forefront of innovation, infrastructure, and clean energy. He clearly understands the role clean energy plays in delivering jobs and billions of dollars in economic development, and under his leadership, the Keystone is leading the way. Please welcome our 48th governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro!
Thank you, everybody. Good morning. It's a good day. Hey, Dave, thank you very, very much. And Joe, thank you for hosting us here today. This is a big day for Pennsylvania. This is a big day for energy in Pennsylvania. And it is a privilege to join you today to celebrate the restart of Unit 1 here at the Crane Clean Energy Center. This is a great day. You know, I appreciated very much the kind words that Joe Dominguez shared a moment ago about the work we did together. I view governance, I view progress as a team game. It's a team sport. Government alone can't solve problems, neither can the private sector. But when we work together, when we believe in one another, when we have a vision that we can look toward together and make things happen, that is how you get stuff done. That is how you make progress. That is how you create jobs and economic opportunity. And your CEO and my friend Joe Dominguez had the vision, had the belief, had the knowledge, had the wherewithal, and had the partnerships to get this done. You are well led, and you are blessed to have a great leader like Joe Dominguez. Joe, thank you very, very much. Joe and I bonded over many things, especially the fact that Pennsylvania has a legacy of energy leadership that we both know stretches back centuries, from Ben Franklin's kite to the coal mines and oil fields of Western Pennsylvania. that fueled our industrial revolution, to the incredibly advanced nuclear power plants like this one that provided power to Pennsylvanians' homes and businesses and communities for 45 years before it was decommissioned back in 2019. Pennsylvania's energy industry has created not good, but great jobs in our Commonwealth. It has lifted people up out of poverty. It's powered the middle class, and it's led to the creation, Rob Baer, of the American labor movement. Energy did that, and we're going to continue that progress in our Commonwealth. Energy's played an important role in our history. When fascism threatened freedom overseas, it was our Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, that produced the energy that made the arsenal of democracy the most powerful manufacturing base in the world. And today, Pennsylvania is proudly the second largest energy exporter in the entire country and one of the most important energy producers in the world. This not only gives us power, this gives us opportunity. But you all know me, I'm competitive as hell. I'm not satisfied just focusing on our history or on our legacy. I am focused like a laser beam on the future of Pennsylvania, and the future runs through places right here like Cranes. So here in Pennsylvania, we are doubling down on that energy legacy by taking big, bold, decisive steps right now to build new sources of power. Back in the spring, and Joe is helpful on this, I announced my lightning plan, a 6-part plan inspired by Ben Franklin's kite to increase energy generation, bring down energy costs, speed up permitting times, and grow our economy. The State House of Representatives, led by your representative, Tom Mahaffey, who is here, who sponsored part of that plan, has already advanced key pieces of our bipartisan legislation to put it into effect. That plan aligns with my focus of being an all-of-the-above energy governor, because I want to produce more energy here in Pennsylvania from every single source that we can, from natural gas to solar to geothermal to nuclear. We currently have 4 nuclear power plants operating in our Commonwealth, producing nearly a third of all the electricity we need. Folks shouldn't sleep on nuclear. They should be aware of the important clean role it plays in our energy portfolio. I'm excited about how this power plant will reopen, bringing more energy onto the grid, and by creating more energy, we will create more opportunities for all Pennsylvanians. Unit 1, as you know, shut down back in 2019. Now, thanks to this incredible partnership between Constellation and Microsoft, we're coming back stronger than ever before. I hope you will note today the presence of Bobby Hollis from Microsoft. Microsoft isn't just some small mom-and-pop company. They are one of the most important companies, not just in the United States, but in the globe. They create transformational change. They help people be more efficient and more effective in their lives. They give us the tools in our pockets that literally help us get through our days, to raise and educate our children, to making sure we have breakthroughs in health and medicine, to ensuring that our nuclear reactors run efficiently and safely. That's what Microsoft does. Bobby traveled all across the United States to be here with us today. That's a big damn deal. To Bobby and to the Microsoft team, we are grateful you are here, and we want you to be here a whole lot more in Pennsylvania. Thank you. Now, when we get this place back up and running, it is going to be thanks to the skilled and capable hands of the Pennsylvania building trades who are going to get us back up and running. And I want to say a special thanks to Rob Baer for his extraordinary advocacy and leadership Rob Baer got knocked down 25 different times on this project, got up every time full of more piss and more vinegar, and he got it done. Rob, thank you for your leadership. Thanks to Rob, thousands of our Pennsylvania building trades, women and men, they're going back to work. And there's going to be pride in that work. They're going to put food on their table, and they're going to create energy opportunities for all Pennsylvanians in the process. I'm grateful to you, Rob, for your leadership, and to all of the women and men that make up the Pennsylvania building trades. And when Rob and his team are done building, we're going to have at least 650 permanent jobs located right here in Dauphin County operating this plant. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. We're giving new life and new opportunity to this community. In fact, it warmed my heart when Joe was singling out some of the folks who were forced to leave 5, 6 years ago and who now are able to come back to their beloved Pennsylvania to work at the place that means so much to them. So for all of you who left for a short period of time, welcome back. For all of you who had to find other work for a short period of time, welcome back to Central Pennsylvania. We love having you here. We're going to make sure you never have to leave again. This is going to be one of those places where the jobs get passed down from generation to generation, where fathers talk to their daughters about the work that they did, and their daughters pick up that mantle of energy leadership right here at Cranes. This is an exceptional opportunity, and this is a big deal. You know, our administration was proud to partner with Constellation and Microsoft and with PJM to be able to bring these jobs, this energy, and this opportunity back online as soon as possible. I want you to know that our team, led by Sam Robinson and Jacob Finkel, well, they reached out to PJM as soon as this project was announced to help get the interconnection request for Cranes approved as quickly as possible. And I got to say, Manu, with you here, the leader of PJM, you all have stepped up in a really, really big way, creating a new fast-track initiative that included Cranes as the largest single source approved under their new program. And listen, I bust PJM's chops a lot. They deserve a heck of a lot of credit here. They're going to beat the timeline that Constellation initially set up and get us up and running. And Manu and PJM are the reason why. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you. Listen, right now, if you look at the energy and technology landscape in our Commonwealth, you will see there is a ton of excitement and a whole lot of forward momentum. As I said, Microsoft is here. That is a heck of a signal of the optimism people feel about Pennsylvania. It is evident here in South Central Pennsylvania, where Microsoft is working with Constellation to get this plant back up and running. It's also evident elsewhere, in Luzerne County, where I was just a couple weeks ago to announce that Amazon is making the largest private sector investment in Pennsylvania's history, an initial investment of $20 billion. $20 billion. That $20 billion is going to help us build state-of-the-art data centers here in our Commonwealth. And there's a reason why they're able to do that, because of our abundance of energy. Energy is the key to a future of opportunity here in Dauphin County and across this great Commonwealth. Look, I want to close with this. Pennsylvania is on the rise. We are seeing real opportunity, and it's because we have worked hard in our Commonwealth to make us competitive again. We are moving at the speed of business. We have slashed permitting times, going from the worst states in the nation to work on for permitting to among the national leaders on permitting. We've cut taxes. Yeah, I'm a Democratic governor bragging about how we've cut taxes here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we've done that on a bipartisan basis. We're embracing our role as a dominant energy exporter, moving fast to build even more power plants and create more jobs. We've built a team at the top that embraces innovation, understands business, and wants to bring real prosperity back to our communities. From coal and steel to server farms and fiber optic cables, Pennsylvania is now positioned to power our future. A future powered by Pennsylvania energy. A future built by Pennsylvania's trained workers. A future where every single Pennsylvanian has the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. So today, let's celebrate, and tomorrow, let's get to work. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. And as the Governor just mentioned, we are thrilled to be joined by a representative from one of the most influential technology companies in the world. Microsoft's commitment to sustainability and their partnership in purchasing clean energy from this very site is helping power both data and progress. Please join me in welcoming Vice President, Energy Cloud Operations and Innovation at Microsoft, Bobby Holland!
If you don't see that I have some very, very hard acts to follow right now, so really want to give a huge shout out to Governor Shapiro and Joe Dominguez for the incredible words that they really set a great stage for us to have a conversation about the importance of this facility and the work that's being done here, and really the contributions of everyone on this stage to make this happen. But even more importantly, the folks out there, like the work that you are doing is just incredible. Being able to come here and know that this plan is moving faster than we ever dreamed possible. So the opportunity that we saw when we were looking for things that could really match our growth, I think you heard we're a little bit bigger than a mom and pop. So we're doing some really important things through all sectors of the economy with AI. Some of this, I think you're probably experiencing it in all parts of your work environment, and we really see it happening in energy, and I've heard great stories from the governor today, I've heard great stories from Constellation. It's helping to make things like this not only come back to life, but do it in a way that turns it into a state-of-the-art facility that really is a model for ways that we can bring nuclear back to the grid and even stand new nuclear up, which was almost unheard of even as recently as 3 years ago. So on behalf of Microsoft, I really want to make sure that all of you know the work you're doing is helping us to do all of the work that we're trying to do with every single company and every single person around the world, helping to make their lives easier, find those opportunities that really can make life much, much more simple, and find opportunities that we can all do the things that we enjoy more. We think that our technology will help you do that. So getting back into kind of some of the initial remarks of why we came here and had this initial discussion with the Constellation team, with Joe and his team, we really, when we were looking at the entire portfolio and what the entire landscape looked like, we knew things were changing. So we knew that we had to look at everything very, very differently. But we also know at Microsoft, we remain steadfastly committed to finding a path for our energy sources, even with the bigger growth, whether it's from AI or something else. We know that it has to be, first, reliable. As we all experience days like this, we know that we need those light switches to come on, but more importantly, those thermostats to work when we are coming home from 100-degree temperature outside. We also need to make sure that it's sustainable. So from our standpoint, that is finding carbon-free energy that matches up to our needs as we grow. So really, when we talk about growth, we talk about growing the energy sector as well. And I think you heard the governor do a much better job than I could. When we talk about energy, energy is the lifeblood of the economy. So how do you bring energy back? But for us, how do we still do that sustainably? How do we find those carbon-free options? And when we looked at what we were doing from an AI standpoint, we also wanted to make sure that we were finding energy opportunities that would support our infrastructure that would be beneficial to the communities that they are growing in. So As we look at the entire growth portfolio of AI, of data centers, and of course, we're not the only growing pieces of the energy infrastructure. There are lots of pieces growing. We have electric vehicles. We have cooling days that are becoming much more frequent. We knew that the growth of AI and the infrastructure required to support that revolutionary new technology, we knew we had to think very differently about finding opportunities for carbon-free energy that could scale as quickly as we could. And scaling, growing fast, those are not usually things that are part of a conversation for nuclear energy. Those are almost viewed as very much the antithesis, as opposites of the conversation. So we said, how do we approach this differently? Carbon-free electricity has to be more than just solar and wind energy, and it very much is a much broader portfolio than that for us. So we looked at it and we said, nuclear has to have a place in that conversation. Microsoft was at the forefront of really leading to make sure that our environmental stakeholders, that our partners within our company, that the entire ecosystem of energy conversations recognize nuclear has a place when you're talking about carbon-free energy and carbon-free electricity. So we really said, how do we find a place where we can move that very, very fast? Where are those really once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that we can bring back nuclear power or stand up nuclear power that can actually match the growth of our AI infrastructure? And that's what led us here to the Crane Clean Energy Center. It's a unique opportunity where we can bring together a supportive community, a supportive state, and the skilled workforce that is the absolute best kept secret ingredient for what's going to make this plant happen faster, as we're already seeing, and to do it safely and reliably. So all of you folks and the contributions that you're making here, it does not go unnoticed. We know that everything you're doing is what's making it happen so that we actually can stand up new nuclear energy contributing to the PJM grid in the same timeline that we're bringing data centers that actually are supporting our AI infrastructure, so that folks around the world are able to rely on Microsoft's technology and integrate that into their lives every day. So thank you all. I also just want to reinforce, I've said it over and over again, the incredible facility here is only able to be reborn from this invaluable local workforce, the skilled labor, the folks that live here, the folks that are coming back here. This is impressive to see. And the people that live here and that know that this particular facility and this technology can be done safely, reliably, and contribute to the growth of the economy here in Pennsylvania, that's really incredible to see. And we thank you all for doing it. And we really want to thank you for doing it as quickly as you have. Because as we've seen, the growth of AI is happening even faster than we expected. And what's really been awesome has been the fact that we also can look to our partners here at Constellation and the state of Pennsylvania and actually see a nuclear facility that's growing faster as well. So thank you all for moving the ball as fast as you have to make everything come together, for Governor Shapiro's leadership to really make sure that Pennsylvania and energy are synonymous now. There's more than one state. It used to be you'd only hear one state in a conversation about energy. You really are, as we talk about nuclear, hearing Pennsylvania in an energy leadership position where we think it belongs, and we think there's tremendous opportunities still. One other thing that we really want to reinforce is we at Microsoft are really proud to maintain the highest degree of integrity around how and where we locate those new electricity resources. And Crane has met that high bar. We are able to bring back clean, carbon-free electricity to the PJM grid, delivering it to the grid so that it's actually making days like this more sufferable for all of us, so that we're able to make sure that the support of baseload energy resources are actually valued for what they provide. We know that Crane Clean Energy Center is going to be a huge asset and value, not just to Microsoft and our portfolio and the infrastructure that we require, but to this entire state. And once again, just in closing, I can't thank this team, the Constellation team, the governor and his leadership, and this entire community for coming together and making this happen and making this reality even more beneficial for this entire community and this entire planet, candidly. We know that the issues we're encountering from the need to get to decarbonization quicker is a global issue. And this community in central Pennsylvania is helping to solve that for all of us. Thank you all, and I look forward to coming back here when this thing is actually live and powering those air conditioners. Thank you.
Keep it going, Mike. Keep it going. How's everybody doing? All right? It's getting a little hot. Let me hear it. Woo woo. One more time. Let me hear it. Woo woo. Well, you're still with me. All right. Now we welcome the head of the organization responsible for ensuring reliable power across 13 states and the District of Columbia. As the operator of the regional grid, PJM understands how vital this restart is, not only for grid reliability, but for a resilient, resource-integrated future. Please welcome President and CEO of PJM Interconnection, Manu Estrada!
All right, good morning, folks. I'm going to start by saying, if you have a bottle of water, you did this earlier, please hydrate right now. It is really hot. Safety is important. If you're in the sun and you can come in, come in. Look, I am responsible for running PJM. What is PJM? We manage the power grid from Chicago to the New Jersey shore. Serve 1 in 5 people in this country. And I really have 2 messages. That's it. Message number 1, the work that you're doing to bring this power plant back is really important. It really matters. And I'll talk about that in a second. Number 2, thank you. Thank you to everyone that is doing this work. That's it. So let me talk a little bit about why this is important. You know, we manage the grid, I said, for 1 in 5 Americans, but let me start right here. This is important for this community. And I just wanted to acknowledge the community leaders in the front for the work that you do and for your partnership with this plant. Thank you. This plant is important for this community. This plant is important for this state. It is important for our region, and it's important for our country. You know, the governor talked about the future, right? The future of energy. Well, the future is now. I have spent a lot of time in PJM's control room over the last few days, as you can imagine, given how hot it is. And 2 days ago, we set an all-time peak observed in our control room, ever, okay? If I look at last year's peak to this year's peak, it grew about 9 gigawatts. Now let me put that in context. That is 11 Crane clean energy centers from last year's peak to this year's peak. Right? What we're talking about here is not hypothetical. Our country needs this power. All of our citizens need this power just to keep their lights on, to stay warm, to stay cool. And the future of our country strategically, Bobby talked about AI. I'll talk about that for a second. November 2022 was when ChatGPT was released into the world. November 2022. It is a toddler. It's 2.5 years old. And it is solving problems that are at the level of PhD students. I can't imagine by 2030 what artificial intelligence will enable us to do. And strategically for our country, for our state, for our region, it is critical that we win that race. And the power that you produce here is critical to winning that race. That is one of the biggest constraints to the development and growth of this new technology is electricity. So the work that you're doing here to start this plant, it matters. It matters to this community, it matters to our country, and I'm here to say thank you for that. PJM understands the importance of bringing this project and other projects like it online quickly, and our engineers are back in the office working as hard as possible to accelerate that. And Governor, thank you for acknowledging that work. I really appreciate it. That's it. That's it. What you're doing matters. Thank you very much.
All right, now we have someone whose leadership has helped guide the nuclear energy industry through transformation and growth. She represents the voice of innovation, safety, and progress across the nuclear sector. Today's milestone stands on the shoulders of industry's visionaries and represents a national resurgence of nuclear. Please welcome President and CEO of the Nuclear Energy Institute, Maria Korsnick!
Well, thank you very much. Wow, it's hot out here. So please take a break, and I'm going to try to cut my remarks short just to give you all a break. I just want to first say thank you. I came to TMI many years ago when I was the site vice president of Gannett. I came here as part of your off-site safety review committee. I also was here when I was part of the Constellation and Exelon team, and I came here as part of your management review meetings. I know how well this plant operated, and I know you're going to kick ass and bring it back. So proud of you for all the hard work that you're going to be doing. Happy that you're all here in the capacity that you are, and you're going to bring more folks to your team. You're not only going to make this plant better, you're going to make this whole community better. And then it comes to what I do, and I take your successes and I make them the success of the whole industry. And I can just tell you, I came 10 years ago to the Nuclear Energy Institute, and the narrative was about shutting down plants. And unfortunately, TMI was one of those plants. And I can tell you the narrative today is about extending the life, increasing the output, building new plants, and because of you, starting plants that have been shut down. Thank you. I congratulate Joe Dominguez. Thank you, Joe, for your vision to even make this happen. Congratulate Governor Shapiro for your leadership and that of your administration, for having the leadership to make this happen, and for the Crane Clean Energy Center that's going to provide hundreds of good jobs here and even more in industries that will support you. You're going to be an economic engine for this whole community. And of course, thank you and congratulate Bobby from Microsoft. Bobby, you and I have been in several meetings with a variety of governors and others across the country, really selling this message about how powerful the commercial nuclear industry can be. We have a president that put 4 executive orders in place. He wants to quadruple the amount of nuclear that we have. He wants 10 large plants under construction by 2030. Very big, bold, audacious goals. We have never been at a time like we are right now, and thanks to some of the things you're doing, we are bringing nuclear back, not only here in the United States, but across the globe. Thank you very much.
Representing the heart of the Capital Region, our next speaker has been a consistent champion for working families, community investment, and forward-thinking policy. Please help me welcome Pennsylvania State Senator Patty Cade.
Thank you, Dave. Just wanted to say welcome back, Constellation, to the Senate District 15, and welcome, Microsoft. We are so excited to have you here. All I know about Constellation is that they're good employers, and they will continue to be good employers. I know that they are good community partners and will continue to be good community partners. And finally, they're great for our planet. As many of you know, and from the Central Pennsylvania PA Trades stats, this Constellation will create 3,400 new jobs, 600 direct jobs and 2,800 indirect jobs. And Rob said earlier, what's exciting is that we have a pipeline of young people who can see something, build something, and point to it. My kids have no idea what I do. I wear a pantsuit, I go to the Capitol, and we can't get the budget on time. These jobs matter. Constellation has been a great community partner. I know with the local Londonderry Fire Company, with the local chamber for the local Lower Dauphin School District, the veterans, the Girl Scouts, they are amazing. But Joe, just want to make sure that there's some old ladies at Royalton Borough Senior Center who would love to have a check as well. They miss your contributions. And then finally, this has just been, I feel very lucky to represent this area. Know that you have my full support, and I will see you excel way beyond what is expected. Thank you very much.
All right, we're closing out. Drink one more time. All right, finally, we are joined by our tireless champion for this community. He's been instrumental in advocating for the workforce and ensuring that this restart brings lasting benefits to the people who live and work nearby. Please welcome State Representative Rob Mahaffey.
Well, I think we're in the afternoon, so welcome to the 106th District and the sweetest district on earth. Today, we're not in Hershey. That is a sweet place. But you know why today is sweet? Because you couldn't remove this smile on my face with a jackhammer. And I think the only other guy that has a bigger smile than me is Rob Bear. Coming here knowing that we are going to restart the Crane Clean Energy Center is something that makes me smile. Smile beyond smiles. I'll tell you why. 5 years ago, many of you guys were here when I gave my speech about I'm sorry that the General Assembly let you down and we had to close 3 Mile Island. It was a very sad day in my life and a sad day for many generations of workers and people who absolutely wanted to stay here in the 106th District and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Well, let me tell you what, that never stopped me, ever. We knew that nuclear power is the future of this country, this Commonwealth, and this district. And I was not going to stop until somebody told me we were going to restart this plant. It's hard to believe 50 years ago, my dad was here working as a young man that gave a future to my family that made him what he is today. Now he's 82, and he talks to me about what it did for him, myself, my family, and he consistently talks about the nuclear power industry and how important it is in the 70s, and now how important it is in 2025 and beyond. If we are going to accomplish anything in this country, in this Commonwealth, we need great people like you to run these plants. High quality skilled labor from the Pennsylvania building trades, those that are trained and trained for long periods of time. And I know those that are operating these plants train forever and go through testing. And it is not easy, but you are doing a fabulous job. Thank you for everything that you do as the workers of this area and in this industry. We greatly appreciate what you do and keeping us safe. Patty's right. When Constellation left and this plant shut down, a lot was missed. Not just the energy of Pennsylvania, but the things that go along with that. Small businesses, donations, your time and effort that you volunteer, which is so greatly appreciated. That was all lost. A senior center shut down. Let's not just open this plant. Let's open business. Let's do that. The 106th District, and sorry about this, Gov, I'm going to use your line. We're getting shit done. That's what we're doing. We just opened a plant in Hershey, unheard of. The investment from our business community is incredible. Incredible. And now Constellation and also Microsoft come together in a partnership unheard of to restart a plant that's in decommissioning. And here we are today talking about it. Not only talking about it, but going to open it here in the next 2 years. That is incredible. And that is something that I want to witness I want to be here, and I want to continue smiling as we continue to grow this industry, continue to do the right things in Pennsylvania, and continue to help the working men and women that are doing this great job in nuclear power. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We did it. We're here. I just want to say thank you to our guests. Thank you to the Crane family for joining us today. Thank you to the governor and our distinguished speakers. Appreciate your time. As we had and heard our distinguished guests here today, I wanted you to take a moment and soak in this historic moment here today at the Crane Clean Energy Center. I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for support as we make history together. And let's bring the energy. We'll see you in a couple of years. Thank you.